All right, look how beautiful it is outside. We're in sunny Chester. It's a beautiful day. And today I want to talk about marginal gains and how marginal gains goes into kind of long-term progress via a compounding effect. And I was just talking to you actually, about how camera lady here, you can't see her, but how you started to go into the gym a few years ago. And you didn't realize like how strong you got until you got paired up with someone who was like weaker than you, and then you realize just how much progress you made. And I used to do boxing, I used to do MMA as well, and the guy used to teach MMA and teach me like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and things like this. He said to me one day, he was like, Rob, you won't know like how much you've improved until you get like a newbie who comes to the session and you start rolling with them. And I've always found this to be, really, really true. It almost creeps up on you, and you have to continuously like kind of move in the right direction. And one of like the big things I noticed was I did like a presentation today. I was a little bit nervous for it, I've got to be honest with you. I did a presentation today. It was in front of like 20 people who were all keen to learn like some of my lead gen processes, because that's what my business is about. Lead gen process is about like how to get like clients off of LinkedIn. And what happened was, I was a little bit nervous going into the session, and I laid out like this perfect presentation, and when I started presenting, I was actually speaking very, very fluently, much more fluently than any other time that when I used to actually present in the past, either at like the workplace or whether I had to present to like a business group or something like that. And it shows like the actual progress that we made over the time, and it was invisible until I actually started speaking today and presenting. And it made me think that you can't see the progress, but then at some point it becomes very, very obvious. And in the group, I was teaching because the number one thing I get over LinkedIn is like, Rob, what's the perfect message you send to people, Rob? What's the perfect message you send to connect to new people, to generate leads? What's that first perfect message you send? And to tell you the truth, there's no perfect message, but I got this same question in the workshop, and a load of people were saying, and these are like, powerful CEOs as well, they're saying like, they don't know how to, they know they should be prospecting, they know they should be doing all these things, but they don't actually know how to basically, connect with people over LinkedIn. Like, what do you actually say, right? And when it actually comes down to it, they're just really nervous about speaking to new people, like really, really nervous about speaking to brand new people. And what happens is this fear is a little bit irrational, because I still remember the first ever few messages I sent out over LinkedIn, and I was like super scared. I was like, what's this person going to think? Are they going to end up being rude to me? And what happened was, eventually after proofreading it all the way through, I just sent it, right? And then that first one was like the biggest one. That was like the icebreaker. That was the one which was the toughest. Be careful not to fall over all of this. just show them that. Like, imagine just walking backwards. Yeah, so like the thing is, like, what happens next is that like you become eventually numb to the things that you were once afraid of, and that's just progress. And after 6 months of doing these tasks continuously daily, let's just take lead generation for an example, and chatting to new people, continually meeting new people, you have different challenges and you forget about the old challenges. And likewise in the gym as well, or in MMA, in boxing, what I used to do, you get completely different challenges. And each time you get different challenges, you forget about the old ones and you kind of leave your past self and you just think, why did I struggle with this? Because you've got completely different challenges now. And then suddenly, you don't suffer from any of this stuff before, but you can't tell the progress. You can't tell like you've actually made progress. You can, because it's compounding, and then you suffer with completely different things. And it just made me think like, we all have these problems which we don't know are going to end up turning into progress eventually, But when we actually take action and turn them into progress, then we end up getting the results from it. But it only comes from kind of like continuous progress. Is your feet hurting from walking backwards?
My arms hurt.
Your arms hurt. You are not a professional camera woman. You are absolutely sacked now. But yeah, I wanted to come out and make this video today because I think it's like an absolutely beautiful day to do it. And in terms of like even sort of public speaking and presenting to groups, I was looking at people who are really, really good at it as well. And I'm actually in like some of Ty Lopez's private communities. And I asked him a question the other day. I was like, because the dude just came on and he was speaking like completely unbroken for an hour, no or anything, straight into story after story after story. And I was like, dude, like, how are you even doing that? And he said something really interesting. He was just like, well, first of all, like I'm working to my strengths. I'm an extrovert, so basically I'm just playing to my strengths all the time. But secondly, he was like, I practice. And he was saying that like, because of his practice, he just gets better and better over time, which is, you know, very much obvious. I know not many people want to actually hear that. But it's the same thing with making progress with marginal gains. You just cannot tell you're getting any better until you suddenly go and speak in front of a group of people and you're like, oh my God, like I can speak so much more fluently. Or, you know, you are trying to generate leads and you haven't gave up after the first 10. And then suddenly you're learning how to have natural conversations, how to actually, you know, fluently communicate with people and direct people into a particular call to action. I'll just tell you, like, that's one of the most powerful things. I was saying to this group of people today, that's one of like the most powerful things that you can learn to do is actually to communicate, even if it's through DM, even if it's through Messenger, communicate and get people to take a particular call to action, like guide the conversation in a way you want it to go, which I think is like one of the most potent things that you can do, because after all, we're all people and we all know how to communicate, right? Has it just gone suddenly really, what is this? This cloud? I don't like it. You don't like it? And I just think like, if you can basically work out like what steps you actually need to go to get through something, and then if you take those steps and just gradually, day by day, put a brick down. I was watching this amazing Will Smith interview and he was saying like the correct way to build a house, because obviously he's a world famous actor, really good at slapping as well, by the way. He's a world famous actor, and he was saying like the best way to build a house is to not focus on like building the house, is just to simply know that the house needs to be built and then put a brick down little by little by little. And it's kind of like, I said to these business owners on this call today, it's kind of like, you know, the gym as well. You aren't going to be able to go to the gym and bench press 400 pounds on your first time there. Instead, what you're going to do is you're probably going to warm up the first day. You know, the second day, you're probably actually going to be a little bit stiff from warming up. You're going to have that like, you know, like the stiffness, like the awkwardness from warming up. And the second day, you're going to be able to go 12 kilograms, you know, 20 pounds or whatever, be able to do that. You might struggle with it a little bit, but over time, over gradual time, you get stronger and stronger and stronger. And the same happens with like your communication style. The same happens with, you know, your attempts at lead generation. The same happens with just generally everything. So if you guys are, you know, watching my channel and you're thinking that, oh, your progress is going a little bit slow at the moment, just know that, you know, before I even booked my first call online with like a potential like strategy session with someone, I had to reach out to like 300 people via email because I didn't really know what I was doing. And then like once I found like a route from A to B, after that I was like, can I improve this a little bit? Can I improve this a little bit? And I just think, you know, it's kind of like the same for life as well. So it's just a quick video I just wanted to shoot today, just because it's such a beautiful day. You guys should get out more, start walking around some more, and start enjoying a little bit of nature, you know. Take care, see you in the next one.